Hello, welcome to the Sloan Zone. It's Justin Sloan again. Thanks for coming, checking us out. So today I wanted to talk about the process that I've been going through more so on my Falls of Redemption book. It's the third in the trilogy. It's called Tears of Devotion. It's going to be something I talk a lot about probably because it's what I'm working on right now, and it's going to be not a beast, but in the 60 to 80,000 word mark. So pretty exciting, pretty fun stuff. But one thing I've been realizing as I write it more and more is that I have to kind of look to Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson as one of my main motivations. Like, there's just no way about it, because what I'm really trying to do is create a different kind of unique magic system. And it's not really a magic system per se. If you've read the other books, you know from my author note that one thing I was going for is that it won't be so magical, that it's more about the people, the characters, the emotions in this made-up world based on the Peloponnesian War, with this fantasy kind of angle to it without being too fantasy. Because that's the kind of book I love to read. Once it starts getting all magic, throwing fireballs and whatnot, and those have their place, of course, but usually it kind of gets too much for me. Lord of the Rings is an exception. There's lots of exceptions, but like even the Wheel of Time, some people might hate me for saying this, but I got kind of bored because it was just too much magic, too many like weird races and all this stuff, and it threw me off. But Mistborn is awesome. It's not about like crazy, weird fantasy people throwing fireballs or anything. It's about a new magic system where the characters can use metals to kind of I don't know, do different things. Like one character, they have different styles, so one of them can like throw down metal on the ground and push themselves from it, or really push metal anywhere. If a bullet's coming towards them, they can kind of push against it and it might not hit them, but it'll at least change the trajectory a little bit. Or there's all kinds of different things. Like I think one gives them just a lot of power. There's one where they actually take the metal spikes and stick them through their eyes, and it's this weird. Yeah, you have to read the book for sure. I'm not gonna kind of spoil it, but read the book, get a feel for it. It's amazing. And what I'm doing in my book, totally different, of course, but it's this idea of being able to. And when I say this, you're gonna realize that if you've heard anything about my book that I'm doing with Michael Laron, Modern Necromancy, The Scepter of Olin is what we're calling it right now. I steal a lot from my own book in a way, because what happens here is there's this whole issue of kind of gods and the afterlife and whatnot. And in that book, there's this whole thing of him trying to bring his wife back from the dead. And along the way, he becomes kind of a necromancer. He gets these special powers. And this one in the third book in the Falls of Redemption trilogy has similarities. I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'll just stop right there and I'll say anybody who wants to write awesome fantasy with a made-up magic system should check out the Brendan Sanderson podcast along with some others, Dan Wells and some other people. Sorry, Merrick Coleman maybe. It's called Writing Excuses. It's amazing, and you got to read the Mistborn trilogy, or it starts with Mistborn. I forget what the actual trilogy is called, but let's just call it the Mistborn trilogy. It's amazing. Brandon Sanderson. All right, thanks. Take care, guys.